Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to our channel, Tutoring Made Easy. If it's your first time coming in contact with our channel, please do us a favor by subscribing. This way, you help this family to grow, to help as many people that need tutoring help. Please. If you're already a subscriber, I want to thank you. I want to use the opportunity to thank you for helping us grow this channel together. If you have specific topics that you want us to do a video on, feel free to drop it in the comment section below, and we'll be more than willing to help you with those videos. Today, we are going to continue our probability journey. If you've been watching my videos, you've been hearing me a lot mention about math journey. But today, we are taking a little turn to the probability journey and to make this journey easy and comfortable. Last time when we met in our last video, we talked about trials. We talked about what probability was about. We talked about trials and experiments. And we did a little bit on the coin toss, or a toss of a coin, or the Bernoulli trial, and the binomial trial as well. Today, I want us to talk quickly about properties of probability, or what we call the axioms of probability. The properties of probability, or some people will call it, some books will want to use some big words just to scare us. Axioms. Axioms of probability. I know. Never mind me. All right. So the first one there is that probability cannot be negative. Probability cannot be negative. It cannot be negative. Sorry. The second thing there is probability can be zero. Probability, it can be zero. The next thing, probability cannot be greater than one. Cannot be greater than one. Number four, because of that, we have probability in this form. The probability of an event will always lie between 0, less than or equal to, because 0 is included, and the probability of an event will always also be less than or equal to 1. So probability cannot be negative, but it can be 0, and it can be 1, but it cannot be more than 1. So let's establish that clearly. Now, the fifth axiom is what we call the probability of an event. What's the probability of an event? The probability of an event is written as P of E, like this. Probability of an event. And what is that probability of an event? Let me rewrite it here. The probability of an event, which is P of E, it's the number of that event. The number of that event is my own formula. The number of that event, all divided by the total number of outcomes. So we are having the number of that event, the probability of an event. So if I say, what's the probability of rain? It's the number of times it will rain divided by the total number of outcomes, taking into consideration all the outcomes that is being discussed. That is the probability of an event. So let's take an event, for example. We're going to look at an event. What type of event are we looking at? We are looking at the toss of a coin. We are tossing it only once. Toss of a coin once. That's the event. That's an event. Now remember that when we toss a coin, we said that there are only two outcomes. So we're going to find what the outcomes are. What are the outcomes of this? The outcomes of this experiment. No, the event is actually, sorry, I want to backtrack a little bit. It's not the event, it's the experiment. Sorry about that. The experiment that we are going to conduct is the toss of a coin once. It's an experiment. And that experiment is known as what we call the Bernoulli experiment. The Bernoulli experiment. Why do we say it's the Bernoulli experiment? We say it's the Bernoulli experiment because the number of outcomes is only 2 times. The number of outcomes is only 2. That's why we call it the Bernoulli experiment. So the experiment is a toss of a coin once, and then the outcomes is only two. The two outcomes are a head. You can see that it's going to be a head. Let me take the yellow. It's going to be a head, or a tail. So we can write it in this form. We can say that the outcomes, we do a bracket, we have a head and tail. So it's twice. Now we can look for the probability of one of the events. We can say that what's the probability that it's a head? What's the probability of the head? And we said that it's the number. Remember, the formula says the number of that event. The number of that, what's that event? The number of head divided by the total number, total outcomes. So we can easily see that the number of head there is 1. You can see it's 1. So the number of head is 1 divided by the total outcome. The total outcome is 1 and 2. So it's 2. So probability of a head is 1 over 2, which is half. And that half is 0.5. Can you see that? So it satisfies our axiom that the probability that we have gotten is less than 0. It is greater than 0 but less than 1. It's 0.5. Now remember, there's something called the prisoner's dilemma. Let me put it out there. The prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma. What does it mean? It means that there was a prisoner who had a dilemma. He was in prison and decided that he was going to toss the coin 1,000 times. And he did that. He did that 1,000 times. And in the process, he ended up having the probability being half. That when you toss a coin, no matter the number of times you are going to toss it, you are going to get the number of heads. The probability of getting a head is always going to be the same as the probability of getting a tail. He did that because while he was in prison, he had all the time to toss a coin, a single coin, 1,000 times. It's known as the prisoner's dilemma. I want to end here. When we come the next time, we'll take more problems concerning different types of experiments that we can conduct and how we can work it, mathematically, uh, to get certain results together. If at this point you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do us a favor by subscribing so we can grow this channel together. If you're already a subscriber, we want to thank you for supporting this channel. We want to support you for supporting us. If you have specific topics that you want us to do a video on, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below, and we'll be more than willing to do that. We'll be more than willing to do that for you. At this moment, I'd like to end here. I'll come to you another time. Please take care and bye.